What's up, everybody? It is the Hell's Kitchen After Show. Tonight we are discussing 8 Chefs Compete. About to get into it. Let's do it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey! Fire! Fire!
Oh, chill. Get it with the ad-libs, Lem.
Let me turn up my mic. Turn up my mic. Fire!
There we go.
Oh, I felt that one.
Hey, you know, I grew up in church. That's how we get down.
Won't he do it? Won't
You had
he do
to.
it?
Speaking of, we're going to get into that because somebody was looking like they was going to church in this episode.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
I was a little
hilarious.
jealous.
That was hilarious. What's up, everybody? You know what it is. It is the one and only Hell's Kitchen After Show, the #1 rated Hell's Kitchen After Show in the world.
In the world,
In the
Craig.
world,
Craig.
In the world,
Craig. That's how it goes down. I'm your host, Lem Gonsalves, and as always, you can find me at The Poet Saint on social media. Next to me is the ever beautiful, gorgeous, and super talented and super hyper Rhavin.
Hey
What's up?
guys, it's Rhavin with the B here, and I'm really hyper off these cookies. But you can find me at B Stays Busy, Bizzy on all social media platforms.
All social media platforms. And of course, the bearer of the treats, as always, blessing us with her goodness, Miss Maria Provenzano.
I like to buy your love with cookies. That's what I do. Hey, I'm Maria Provenzano, and you can find me at Maria Provenzano. It is right there below, and you can find me at that on Twitter, and you'll get all my information there, including cookie recipes. It'll link you to my website, From Scratch with Maria.
And of course, holding it down with a bunch of cookies in his pocket as we speak.
You got it.
Mr. Happy Go Jackie himself.
Yes.
What's up, Frank?
My love is easy to buy. So like, I walk it out with my heart in her pocket, along with whatever's left of those cookies, which won't be many because they'll be in my belly. You can follow me at Happy Go Jackie. They're on Twitter.
Yes, awesome. So, guys, I want to say this is one of my more favorite episodes of the season.
Agreed.
This was really a good episode. I mean,
It was
we were
intense.
talking about this. It was very intense, and it wasn't so much about the drama, but it was actually about the cooking.
Yes.
You know, when it came down to the challenge, you know, the beginning challenge, and also dinner service, it was crazy.
I loved it.
It was really dope, and this is to me like when they first started, you know, Hell's Kitchen. It was a lot like that. You know, it wasn't so much
Okay.
about the drama, but of course with the reality show, you know, I mean, we're popular, and
move
the
with the
competition of because there's so many now. I mean, when Hell's Kitchen
Right.
first came out, it wasn't that many cooking shows. Now there's so many. You know, the Food Network itself has like 89 of them.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to compare with, but. I did like it. It was a good throwback, and it was a good episode just overall on how it goes down. What do you guys think?
I just want to know, in terms of when they're booking celebrities to come and dine at the restaurant,
Yes.
who gets to sit at the chef's table and who gets to sit just in the crowd with the masses
Yeah.
there?
Right.
Because Bill
That's a good
Engvall,
question.
certainly, probably, I don't know, I think a more respected comedian.
Oh, here we go. Here we
Banished,
go.
banished to the
Here we go.
masses. And Mr. Jeff Denham with his Dum Dum Puppet gets the chef table. What's up with that? Come on.
Why are you really despise this man? Like he was in the last episode and he's still coming back.
He's still mad.
He's
That's right.
still
He won't
mad,
go away.
that
He won't
Jeff
go away.
Denham was on Hell's Kitchen, and then we thought he was his favorite comedian.
That's right.
That's what he's probably even more upset about.
I cannot believe it, you guys. No, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fine. Gosh,
yeah.
just Chef Ramsay, come on. You cannot.
Yeah.
No. All right. I want to know.
Yeah, I mean that's a good question. I personally don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you were asking me, but I think it's probably right because I know everything.
Yes.
You know, that's how I roll. But no, I think it's just how they film and how it works. They can always have a chef
It's probably
table.
not how many followers you have. Wait, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, I can't hear.
I can't hear myself.
I can't
Can I hear myself?
Yeah.
Sorry,
I can't hear myself
but I was
either.
like, check.
We're just going to be yelling at each other all night.
No, but I thought it was really funny. The whole Ashley wouldn't bang Jackie thing. That was super hilarious.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, at
that
the
was
beginning.
funny.
Yeah.
You're
So
just not my type. Jackie's like, I'm so surprised. Jackie's so surprised. I mean, but she thinks she is God's gift to, I don't know, men and women.
she thinks she's got gifts to everything.
Everything.
Every
And I was
sense
like,
in the
girl,
world.
have a seat.
She is a lesbian and bisexual magnet. I'm like, what?
Does that mean she is actually
I mean-
bisexual herself? Or, I Do we know?
You know, they did clarify that.
No, they didn't.
She did not mention that.
I don't know if it matters, but there might be some people that want to know.
I just think it's
Maybe.
interesting. Like,
Apparently she's a magnet.
where do you live to where
She
you
lives
are?
in Jersey.
It's in Jersey.
She says I can look it up to be just be sure I have it up.
The Jersey, or is it like
she's Jersey City, New Jersey.
Jersey
But there's
City,
different
New
type
Jersey.
of, bisexual and lesbian women. I mean, are you a magnet to just the butches? The ones that look like the guys, or you?
She made it seem like no one
Everybody.
turns her down.
She just said, she basically
And the
believes
fact that
anybody.
someone was not feeling her,
She didn't like it.
she was really like, I'm really offended.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really hurt by this. And I'm like, come on, like, are you really serious right now?
As I told Lem, it's like it's probably deaf mutes, because if they can't hear what Jackie has to say, that's the only reason they could be attracted.
Yeah.
If they heard her and her obnoxiousness, I can't imagine they'd be attracted.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like I said, is she in the woods of Jersey City? Like, is she in a log cabin city? Like, that's what I'm just trying to figure out, where
She
are
might
you
be.
at? That everybody, I'm just
She
saying,
might
like,
be.
population of 5. Like,
I am
I'm just trying to figure it out. But maybe you can shed some light. Everyone. I'm just saying.
We got a nice comment in our chat.
Yes.
So they're saying that they have Easter candy and some juice and they're ready to go.
Okay.
But and also said, I hope everyone had a nice Easter and they're excited about this episode because
Who said that?
#she's finally gone. Okay, I hope I don't unsub Katya Houston.
Okay, hey
So,
Houston.
Hey Houston, we're going to call you Houston because I don't want to botch it.
That's where we are.
OMG, and then he said OMG.
This is okay. All right. Awesome.
Yes.
So
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you. So getting into the first challenge, which at first I was a little confused. I was like, what do they have to do? Because the way he explained it, was like you just got to grab ingredients for
Right.
these 3 dishes, which are seemed very clear cut. We had the sea bass, the rack of lamb, and chicken breast. And I'm like, okay, there's something else to it. So I was
course.
like, let me just wait. And then of course we found out later that it was a relay race,
Yes.
which ended up being very difficult, and it was a lot of pressure. Basically, they had, of course, 5 minutes to actually get the ingredients. So again, you have a team, and at this point, it's still 6 of them or 4 of them
There
on
was,
each team.
yeah.
So 4 in
Yeah,
each team. So
4 in
8
each.
chefs, 4 in each team. And so as 4 people, you got to decide on 3 dishes, the ingredients that you're now going to use for all of this. So agree on that. And then you now have to do a race where you have 5 minutes per person to cook. So that way it's basically a total of 40 minutes to cook 3 whole dishes.
This was one of my absolute favorite challenges.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I felt like everything was upbeat in this entire episode. So I was with these guys watching it and I was like, yeah, go! Ah! And I felt like you could feel the adrenaline
Yeah.
because that's what they kept saying, that when they interviewed him, they're like, you guys don't realize how hard this is. And that's,
Right.
I thought it made it so interesting. Like you said, it was more about the food.
Right.
And that's what I
Right.
like.
Right.
Yeah, my booty cheeks were squeezed very tightly every time they switched players.
gosh.
I was like, okay. And you know what's really important about this? It's not just about doing your part when it's your turn. It's about helping prep for the next person.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? And like that anchor, when it's time to pass the baton, it's like,
Communication. too.
Exactly.
Communication was very key in this episode, and to me, challenge. But to me, it definitely took, like, whoever was going to communicate the best, in my opinion, was going to win the challenge. Because again, this is very basic food in the sense for, I mean,
Right.
I can't cook it, but you know what I'm saying, for what they've been doing already and some of the
Right.
other challenges that they've had, this is very basic. So it really had to do with communicating, making sure that, again, like you said, prep for the next person. And as
that's
a
exactly
team,
why they had Jackie go first.
oh gosh, I think that was, how do you think that worked for them? Frank, what do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know where you could put Jackie. Well, I guess you could. You'd have to put her first.
She
just so
can't
you-
be the anchor.
Yeah, she
you know?
cannot be.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess you have to put her first.
Right.
So you have 3 other people that can kind of fix.
Which is what they said. Which is what they said. Do you think that worked for them though?
I mean, I don't know what any other switch that they could have set up for that. 'Cause,
Right.
I mean, I was wondering about the blue team when they had Amanda
Yeah.
on as a closer. I was
Right.
like, I don't know. Given the blue team actually pulled out in the end, but I was
Right.
really questioning the whole time: was Amanda the right choice as your anchor on that?
I felt the same way.
I agreed with them on Jackie. I thought that was a smart move because then when she goes again, it's 5th, and you still again have 3 more before
Yes.
you're finished with the meal.
That was
so. Whereas with Amanda, I'm like, yo, she's closing like the actual dish, like
Yeah.
she's finishing everything, and that's like, what if you don't get it on the plate?
Right,
It doesn't count.
exactly.
You know, like
Right.
all that could be done. And then from there, line her to me because she's the weakest, I would say, of at the blue team at this moment.
You know what I
So-
think would really help her?
What?
If she had glasses that stayed on her face.
You comment about this every
it
single
bothers
week.
me every time because I'm like, Ashley, I think you would spend less time or more time cooking if you were doing less time of like, I feel like they're always going to fall off.
Amanda.
I'm sorry, Amanda.
Yeah,
Did I say Ashley?
Yeah.
Amanda. Yeah, I'm like, because they're always falling off.
They're
And
always
I've
falling
never,
off.
I don't have glasses, so you guys
That's
can enlighten
true.
me.
She's
So I don't know what that, is it just because she's looking down or just because they're too big?
Well, I wear glasses and
Right.
contacts.
Okay.
Frank, you obviously have glasses on.
Obviously, yes.
So you enlighten me on this. I'm very curious.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they must be a little bit too big because my glasses don't slide. I mean, there's a couple times you might have to just push it up slightly, but that's
Sure.
it. I don't
Okay.
there's nothing like what Amanda's doing where it's kind of sliding
It's
down low.
all
and
the
then you gotta,
time.
Well, I think too. Well, first of all, okay, I'll say it like this. I think that the style of glasses that she's wearing are
Okay,
very
you're supposed to do that.
stylistic. However, you're not going out. You're not, at
in the
Starbucks.
kitchen.
You're kitchen cooking. So my thing is, for me, it would help is if she wore, and I know it's corny, but to wear those little bands that tie it on.
Wear
You know what I'm
something.
saying?
I would do anything. Like they wear the
Just
ugly
give her
shoes.
some goggles.
Like,
they
I'm
wear the
saying-
ugly outfits. Like,
Yeah.
just doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, while you're in the kitchen, because I
Yeah.
agree with you, it does seem very strange that she keeps having to pull them up and
Yeah.
all
What
the
about the
time.
ones that come together like this and then
Anything that'll stay up.
Well, she's not gonna wear
Anything
any
that'll stay up.
goggles. Like, I mean, that's pretty bad.
Is that
Yeah.
hard?
I would expect her.
Goggles.
You know,
I
they
wouldn't
make
expect-
onion goggles that you can put on. So I always cry when I cut onions.
Yeah.
And they actually make these goggles that
Wait,
you can
onion
wear.
goggles?
They're called onion
Stop
goggles.
it.
Do you wear them?
Are you
I
serious?
legit wear them.
Okay, I need a
you know what?
selfie.
I'm gonna
Yes.
I need
bring.
a selfie
Exactly.
the next
What?
time you wear them.
Okay, I will put a picture. My husband has one for blackmail purposes, and so no, they're really really funny. So you wear these goggles, and they're like goggles, and they seal kind of around your eyes, and they work.
Wow.
I don't cry.
That's hilarious.
But now I'm dependent on them, so I tried to cut an onion the other time. This
Yeah.
is totally off topic.
Yeah.
I tried to cut an onion and I just cry. I just cry all my
all
makeup
the
off.
time.
They say if you try and chew gum, that might help too.
It doesn't help.
Chew gum, chewing onions?
While you're cutting.
Or wearing glasses. I was like, what? Chewing gum for what?
So you don't cry.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to remember. I mean, we don't have time. I'm just saying.
On camera.
So, got it. Okay, so goggles. She
Just
needs
saying,
some
any
onion
chefs
cutting
out there,
goggles.
cooks, home
Whatever.
cooks who
She
cry.
needs onion goggles.
Onion
Maybe
goggles.
that would help her. Bottom line is, yes, she does need to fix the glasses situation. That might help. And there's times that she doesn't wear them, and so
That's true.
there- but
Yeah.
she's also not cooking
When she
she's
does
not
that,
wearing them.
uh-huh.
So maybe she's trying to look.
She
cute
might have
or
to wear
whatever.
them, which is fine. But just give me
Sure.
ones that fit.
Yeah, I got it. I
Ashley,
got you.
I'll
I got
help you.
I got you.
Okay.
I understand. So
I digress.
the teams are rolling, and I just put in my notes just crazy. Like it was really
I
just,
loved
it was
it.
crazy. It was going. They were communicating. They were yelling and stuff. And there were some times where, and I had a feeling because they showed it that it was going to bite them. In which Kristen did not listen to Ariel, and that they have this thing, together that they kind of don't get along. And we're going to talk about it because they actually have to get locked in the pantry and kind of
And
really
that still
talk it
didn't
out.
even work.
Yeah, it still didn't
It
work.
still didn't work.
But
Yeah.
they did it.
Yeah,
They worked
so
on that.
they all do finish their dishes, which is good. And so now it's time to taste. And so Chef Ramsay is tasting the red team's bass. He says it's good. The blue team's is also good. So they actually both get a point on that.
Right.
And so then it's time for the lamb. I said again, red team lamb is good. Blue team lamb is okay. Wasn't terrible. So the red team has the edge, so they get that point. So now the red team is 2 ahead. If they get this last one, clean sweep, then they'll automatically win. Right? So, of course, it's Hell's Kitchen, so it doesn't really work that way.
Right.
The blue team ends up having something missing on the dish. So at that point, it's like, oh, they got it, right? Because they got something missing. He said
Yeah.
something was missing.
Yeah.
But then the red team, the carrots
Kristen refused
were
to listen.
raw. And Kristen didn't listen to Ariel because Ariel said, I think you need to, oh, no, they're good.
They're gonna
good.
be
They're
And
good.
that's
She-
They're
where
gonna
I
be
thought
too
she
much
was
for you.
really confident in that
Yes,
too.
yes.
Which
She was
surprised
very-
me because usually she doesn't mess up like that.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, I think with Kristen being as she is, because I think they're kind of, Ariel is definitely more vocal,
Right.
but I think skill level, I think at this point of the game, they're pretty much neck and neck.
It seems like it.
And I think because also, Kristen doesn't really care for Ariel, I think if it was coming from anyone else, she might have listened, but I think she was just like, oh, Ariel's telling me, I got this. I know what I'm doing. Save it for somebody else like Jackie or something like that.
Yeah.
So she didn't listen, and so I think that was a bad move on her part because, of course, that resulted in the blue team winning because it ended up being tie, and
Right.
then they went back to the first dish, and the blue team won. So
I
that
know.
burns. That
I was
really
actually
burns.
really bummed. I wanted the red team to win it.
I thought the red team. Based on the
they
way
had
it was going,
it looks
looks like they had it.
all their stuff looked better too. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that, like
exactly.
if they would have put presentation into it,
Right.
then that would have. And I don't know why he didn't.
No, that's true. Yeah, I mean, certainly Amanda doesn't make the most beautiful looking dishes because it seemed like the plating for that was not as good as the blue team's.
What did they say that the chicken looked like a?
Oh yeah.
What was
from
it?
the blue
Something for
teams?
like someone on a diet, but there was a better term that Kristen said. Yeah, I don't know. And I didn't have it written down because I was like,
Right.
how? What?
Yeah, yeah.
What did
Just
she
look like
just
diet
say?
food,
Yeah,
like-
diet food,
or
basically.
hospital food or
hospital
something.
food, yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, just not good.
Not
Not
good.
good. So, like we said, the blue team are winning, and they get to go to the track in Santa Anita.
That was cool.
But then you said like, all right, dress as dopey as you can, guys. We're taking you to the track.
Exactly.
I wonder, like, did they prep them and say if you get to a certain point, you're going to horse track race? Because, like, where did they get those
hats?
clothes?
Where's the hats come from?
I was thinking about that, and I think what they do, I mean, don't quote me, but in my finite wisdom of Hell's Kitchen, I believe that they have to bring certain types of clothing for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's something that they already pack, and then when it's that time, put that on.
Even the hats, though.
But because I mean, it's like one thing like going to the Kentucky Derby, and everybody
Right.
gets really dressed up for
Right.
that,
Right,
for sure.
right,
But
right.
this year, Santa Anita, guys, it's not like.
I know, but I liked it. I thought it was
I
Danny's
think it was
outfit.
right.
I loved it. It's like if you're going to a horse race.
Yeah.
I've never been to a horse race, but
literally
I
going to
want to
church,
go,
huh? Let me
and
Tell
I will
you,
wear that
Danny,
hat.
No.
can we get some Karen Clark sheared or something? Because I mean, she was going to, and
I
it was
loved
funny
it.
because Jackie was like, "Oh, she's going to praise the Lord.
Yeah.
She is
That
going
was
to give
actually
God
the funniest
glory."
commentary Jackie
She
has
was
had
giving
for me.
them praise, like she
Amen.
looked like Easter Sunday at 11 o'clock,
I
like
liked it.
in the morning. Like
go, Danny.
she was holding it down, and I wasn't mad at her.
I was
but
not mad about
I
it.
love Hell's Kitchen. I love the producers because they really did turn on that
thought
shout
it was
music.
funny.
Yeah,
and I was
I know.
like, oh,
He was
they did it.
excited.
Oh man, I just came. It was
gotta
Easter Sunday
stop and
yesterday.
clap to that.
Come on now,
Okay.
I just was praising them yesterday. Come on
Okay.
now. So it was great,
I loved
perfect
it.
timing. I thought it was dope. I thought it was
Can we
dope.
do a field trip to Santa Anita? Because I want to see Maria.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh,
Absolutely.
we would kill
We have
it.
so much fun. We have so much fun.
Big hat,
Don't
big
tempt
cupcake
us.
dress.
You can,
Don't
Frank, you can
tempt
wear
me.
like the same thing that Jared
You
had
gotta
on.
wear the
with
seersucker suit.
There you
Yes,
go.
some
I can see
dog.
it.
Don't
There you
threaten
go.
me
What
with
are
a
they
good
called?
time,
I got you. I
honey.
got you. I'll pull it off. I'll work it.
And then Frank,
But we
can we talk
gotta
about how
win.
much of a sad sack he was?
Oh my
That whole
gosh.
time.
I needed a violin. I needed I just wanted to shake him and be like, dude, enjoy your win.
Well, it was like,
Yeah,
well,
he's like just a
I think it was
blanket.
even, wasn't it even, if I'm not mistaken, Manda, because it was the drink that he wanted specifically, right?
Yeah.
And he was saying, I don't really like this because Jared was talking about, oh, I got champagne.
Yeah.
I got
Oh, he
caviar.
was all about
He was
it.
all about it.
I
And
liked
then it
that.
was like, Frank was like, oh, whatever. I just want one drink. And so the drink came that he wanted.
How did
And
it
it
come?
sounded like
It was
Manda,
vanilla, vodka, and grapefruit.
Yeah,
Who did
something
that?
like that.
Vanilla,
Yeah.
vodka, and
Frank, yeah.
What,
But I thought
that
it
is
was-
okay. That's kind of a like girly drink, don't you think?
Well, you know,
I'm
he
just
keeps
curious
saying,
where it came from. Who did that?
well, I think what I was trying to get to is I think Manda did that for him. I think
Really?
because the way she was
Yeah,
so
yeah,
excited
yeah.
when it came out, and she
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, Frank, it's your drink."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, he was-
I just wanted to choke him.
Debbie Downer. Yeah, no, he was Debbie Downer.
Negative Nelson.
He was
Yeah.
being a baby, is what he was being.
Yes.
And I mean, we find out later because he was doing it in the
bad.
kitchen too. And Christina had like a last little pep talk with him, talking to him like he's a kindergarten, like you is smart,
You is kind.
You is kind.
Like I
You
was like,
is- what's the last one? Important.
Like he really
That's
had
from
to
the help. Have you
have
seen the help? Okay, that's from
that
the help.
helped, like, you know what I'm saying, pep talk. And I'm like, yo. But he said because he felt that the other people, they had put him up for elimination.
They were picking on him.
And the thing is, like,
Poor
He was
yo.
literally about to cry. Did
It
y'all?
was-
Did you hear it in his voice?
Yo, it was cracking.
was, like,
it was cracking.
shaking.
It was cracking. But my thing is, I really want to check his DD 214, which is military paperwork, because I really
pulling the
think
card on
it's.
you.
I know,
it's-
I was like,
I really think it's suspect because he talks
Yeah.
about, like, you know, it's supposed to be da-da-da-da, and the military is all about teamwork. No
Right.
matter what branch of the military you're in, they preach teamwork. It's mass, you know, victory or mass punishment. That's what it is. And the fact that he does not want to work as a team, regardless if you don't like the people you're with,
Right.
that's your team. That's your brigade. You have to work with them. And so whenever he's like always going rogue and doesn't want to listen to anybody, I'm like, what part of the military are you from? And then
Right.
him being so soft, his girly drink, his little like, oh, they're not kind
his
to me.
ass. Yeah,
Ariel
they're
said it
ripping
best.
on me.
Ariel said it best when she came. She said it's always the one or the other extreme. There is no medium. So either you're going to be extra, extra tough, or you're going to be
Right.
extra, extra sensitive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I've seen that with him, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah, there's no
maybe if
middle.
you focus more on the team. I mean, we've seen Jackie put up for elimination so many times, and she's mad, she's pissed, but then she goes back in and
bounces
she's
back, yeah.
whatever, you know. So it's
Well,
kinda
the
like,
thing is, I think, and I'm glad that Christina, had that, even though I don't, care for Frank and all of that, but I think it was good for him to get that pep talk from Christina to kind of just set him straight, but like, yo, you just need to prove it in your cooking. Just fight. Do good in cooking, because the bottom line is Chef Ramsay is looking for one person. He's not looking for a team of people. He's looking for one person. So yeah, work as a team until it gets into the individual competition, which is right around the corner when they go into Black Jackets.
Yeah.
6 people. So it's right around the corner. Get to that point, and then you're on your own, and then you shine. But
and those are good life lessons too.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, he should already, for being in the military, he should already know these
Thank you.
things.
I'm checking his DD 214.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna check his DD 214 too.
D-double-14.
WD 40. I'm checking that too.
DW40.
I'm checking all of it.
And I think that he's been this far, and he's helped eliminate all these other people on his team.
Right.
So I'm sure everybody else has felt that same thing. But it's also Frank gets nominated, and it's like, all right.
And it was the first
stop.
time he was nominated. Like, that's the thing. It wasn't like it happened like a bunch of times. It was literally the first time. And he really deserved to be nominated other times.
Yeah.
But he kind of bullied his way through it and, and didn't get nominated. But now it's like he gets nominated, and now he's like so pushed out of shape.
Super butthurt.
Like, stop it.
Yeah,
Stop
they're
it right
saying
now.
in the chat, back to Houston, the difference between Jackie and Frank is that while they both have horrible attitudes, Jackie, at least during service, isn't sulking over what happened previously. She resumes
Yeah,
No,
she just doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
That's
Speaking
different.
Real quick, what they're doing, the red teams do the punishment where they have to take care of all those
my
lines
God.
and get those. And Jackie's line is like, I don't know, you use a saw with 2 people and you have to push it back and forth like you're cutting wood down a tree. I don't know, I'm not a carpenter.
Right.
I'm like, what?
But I will say some of her comments were so funny in this episode.
She was good today.
Oh my God.
This particular episode, she had some really good commentary.
Yeah, they were funny.
She had some really good
Good little
commentary.
nuggets.
It kind of reminds me of what's his name, Alan. Remember when
I miss
was on?
Alan. We should've just kept Alan for the commentary.
Yeah, his commentary was great. His commentary
His
was
was
really
perfect.
good.
I know.
Yeah, he had some good stuff. So we go into, at this point, the service, and we see, everyone's kind of getting ready. And before that, there's a situation that goes on, right? And we see that, when we talked about this earlier, but we see Kristen and we see our friend Ariel. And they're going at it, right? And so here comes Christina, who is the sous chef, and kind of is over when Chef Ramsay isn't around, a lot of times during their prep and things of that
like
nature.
her.
And basically, they're frustrated because, well, it's mostly Kristen, because Ariel's basically calling her out, right? And that's kind of what Ariel does. She calls people out on her stuff. She's been doing it every single thing. But the thing with Ariel, she can back it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the difference. She can back it up. So she's doing it with Kristen, and again, Kristen being, thinking she's got it together.
Right.
She doesn't want to take it. She calls her out because she kind of lies to Christina. Well, not actually, she does.
Yeah.
There's no kind of to it. And so then she calls her out. So then, they're bickering back and forth. So Christine's like, I'm going to treat you like my nieces, put you in a corner and work it out. So they go to the pantry, which really didn't do anything.
Not a single thing.
And I think, and to be honest, Ariel, I think she was really trying to talk.
Yeah, I
And
do.
Kristen
sat
wanted
down.
nothing to do with
She
it.
kind of sat down. She was like, okay, well, let's talk about it. I want to talk first, and then you can talk. And then, Kristen just was getting frustrated. I was like, I'm out of here. So it didn't really do anything for that regard.
Well, and I don't know if you meant, but because she lied, like blatantly lied about something.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
She blatantly
I mean,
lied.
and I think in terms of which I love, what I love about the show is how it teaches you what the kitchen, like the etiquette in the kitchen and how structured it is.
Right.
And the etiquette, which I really, really love. And I respect that. And she was just like, don't be a liar. That's not a
Right.
good trait to even be as like a head chef.
Right.
It's just liars are, why?
Because and then Kristen's defense was, it was just practice.
Yeah.
And she was like, I said
And
a couple
don't
of
lie during
seconds.
practice. And if it was just practice, you should have
Right.
said, I did put it in.
Right.
And so that's where
Yeah.
it like bothered
Because
me.
Ariel
So
tried to tell her
like
not to
Ariel
do
did
it.
Yeah.
She tried to. She was like, "I've never put my meat
Right.
in the oven," and she's been holding down the meat station.
Exactly. She
so
said she's been the only one that's been good.
she's giving her some nuggets. Like, okay, I'm just letting you know,
Yeah.
my stuff has been coming out good, and I've never done that. So maybe you should stay on the up and up and not do that.
Right.
So she chose to do it anyway. And then when she got called out by Christina,
Yeah.
she's like, "No, I didn't do it."
Yeah, I didn't
And it
like
was just
that.
kind of like, keep it
Yeah.
real. Like
Right.
you did something wrong. You did something wrong.
And she just doesn't want, I think what it is she doesn't want to look bad.
In front of Ariel, too.
In front of Ariel. in front of Christina, who is a
Right.
sous chef, even though because it is practice, it's the perfect time to, learn.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, she just, and like I said, again, because Ariel was the one telling her,
Right. That's what it
she didn't want to deal with it. So, but,
But I thought we learned that from the challenge. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
you would think.
did Ariel not tell you that the
yeah,
carrots were probably raw,
right.
and you were like, nah, they'll be
Yeah.
mushy?
Nah,
like,
son.
did we not? Was that not a learning experience for everybody?
well,
Okay.
evidently
Probably still
for
just, yeah.
Kristen, no. So,
I mean, you still my girl. So I'm just saying.
Christina being all over this episode,
Yeah.
giving a lot of advice. I thought it was great to see.
no, it was good. Yeah, shout out
I
to her.
like
We had
her.
her in the studio. She was our second guest, actually.
I wasn't
So,
here.
yeah, you wasn't here yet.
I'm so mad.
She was a great
'Cause
guest too.
I really like
Yeah.
her.
She gave
I
some really good
like
insight.
her.
Hopefully, I mean, she lives in Vegas because that's where she works. But hopefully, if she comes back to LA
Yeah.
before the season's over,
That'd be
she can
great.
come back. That would be dope. So let's get into service. So then, of course, we start off with Ashley making the mistakes and sends up some kind of watery risotto, which isn't too good, and then turns around and messes up again.
Again. And I feel like after making the risotto so many times in the show up to this point, whether you've made it prior to then or no, the kind of the basic rules of it, and you can't thicken the risotto.
With
And I was telling you guys with
cheese.
cheese,
Right.
you can't thicken it. It thickens with the natural starches of the arborio rice, which is what you use to make risotto. So she
Right.
adds cheese, and if you cook the cheese in too long, I know these things, and I'm not a chef.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she made these mistakes.
Didn't we have someone else do that too earlier? That
Somebody
got
else did.
eliminated?
I
It was a
want to say
guy.
that was Jared. I think it was Jared that
Did he do that?
Oh, it might
I
have
think
been. I
so.
remember
Messed up the
they
risotto.
put in
I think
cheese.
I think it was Jared. It might
I
have been
think
Jared.
you're right. Yes, yeah.
It was either Jared or somebody that's already eliminated.
Yeah.
But I think it's. Go ahead, Frank.
Oh no,
You had
I did
something.
like Ramsay's comment to that. It's like what his criticism of that risotto is that it's spooky.
Yeah. So it looked like webs.
Spooky. Yeah, it did. It did.
like-
But I think more so, I think for her, we saw it, a couple of times in this particular episode that she's just kind of breaking down. It's getting to her. She kind of starts, losing it. Chef Ramsay is kind of like, what's going on? Like, get it together. She's like, I'm trying, she starts
Yeah.
crying. And then again, we see it at the end of service, and she's breaking down again. So, and it's tough.
She's having a
this
moment.
particular, this show in itself, I mean, I can't imagine, kind of dealing with this. And at this stage, it's been weeks now. And you've constantly been doing it, and you're constantly trying to do well, and you're trying to get to the top spot. And these things, and, start making little mistakes, and then, it gets to you, and you miss your family. And
It's everything.
everything.
You're
And then,
living
if
it.
people don't like you, and then you got to live with these. I mean, it's
You still have to
so
say
much
see
going
those
on.
same faces
every
day.
single day,
Yeah.
24/7. And so it's just starting to get to her. So, but I'm glad that she did bounce back and she did, do it right.
And I did like real quick, like Christina saying when she delivers that first risotto, and she messes up on it. Christina saying that's your one.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's kind of cool, like the kitchen etiquette for Hell's Kitchen. Everybody's you might screw up. You
Yeah,
got
she
your
messed
one,
up twice.
and then
Right.
bounce back into
She
it.
And get it
messed it
cracking.
up twice.
Exactly.
So we all-
She did mess it.
That's right.
You get your one, but
Thanks, Rhavin.
Yeah.
She did
Sometimes
mess
you
up
get your
twice,
two.
which is why she broke down. Because she's like, oh, that was two. But that's what happened. But she,
But
she
Kristen stepped
intimidating,
up.
dude.
Kristen stepped up and was
She
helping
did.
her at the
She
station.
did. She did step up, help her. Speaking of helping, Frank actually, of all people, his pep talk he got kind of helped him, even though he took it a little step further. He was like, "Yeah, I was leading them," and I was
Yeah,
like,
it's
Stop
like
communicating that first.
And it just bothered me because it's, yes,
Like,
it bothered
yo.
me because it's like if you would have been doing this all along, you
right,
would have your
right.
team would have probably done so
Exactly.
much better, and you wouldn't have had these situations. And
Well,
like,
his-
but Amanda asks him these questions, and he just ignores her.
I would have thrown a spatula at his head because at one point I was like, wait, did that pep talk go the wrong way in your head?
Yeah.
Because now you're just off of yourself completely. Like, I'm just
Right.
going to do it.
right.
Yeah.
I was annoyed by that.
No, I really wish Amanda would have called him out right then.
I don't know why she didn't.
No,
Why did she just let
get
him
it
do
together.
Well, those two.
Yeah.
Amanda just
Those
it's a
two.
hard time because Frank gets on her so much, and I think it's one of those things like if I don't say anything, he's not gonna harp on me,
Yeah.
and just kind of leave me alone.
But
so
also the team. Everyone hears Manda
Yeah.
Right.
communicating to Frank.
Right.
Everyone hears Frank ignoring
Right.
her.
Why doesn't
Why
someone
didn't,
say
any,
something?
why didn't anyone else say something too? Like, it's just weird.
I think it's just because Frank is such a bully. It's like you don't want to get on his bad side.
Yeah,
and I
you
mean,
don't
and
deal
it
with
shouldn't
it.
be that way. But that's kind of how he presents himself. He walks around when it's deliberation. He's like, don't vote for me. No. I'm gonna step you in the back. You're like, what are you doing? It's a child. Like, what are you doing?
I just felt Danny could have slid in
Yeah.
there and be like, Frank, we need time, babe.
Yeah, exactly.
Frank,
Yeah.
her little smooth talk,
Right,
you know.
right.
She
and
can
Danny's the only
communicate with him.
person that can do, but then also Danny's worried about herself and
True.
keeping herself in the game. So it's kind of that tug of war with, yeah, you want to help out your teammates, but you also want to make sure that you're good.
Yeah.
So you don't get eliminated,
Right.
especially now that it's getting down to the nitty gritty. Everybody's
Yeah.
decent.
But I
at
mean,
this
Frank
point.
pretty much told Amanda how he wants to be talked to in the kitchen, which is like, scream at me, scream at me,
Right,
scream at me.
right.
True.
And so it's like, I would scream at him because that's what you told me to do, Frank.
And
That's
That's
you
what
told me
he
to do.
said. It's what
And
she
ultimately,
said.
at the end of the day, everyone might be looking out for themselves, but if a dish gets sent up late, if we're not in sync with everything that we're doing, it looks bad on us
Right.
totally together.
True.
So it's like, okay, do you, but we
Yeah.
still have to do us
Yeah.
to get through this service.
No, that's true. That is
So I
the
was a little
truth.
disappointed, but I'm glad that he bounced back.
Right.
I don't know what happened, what was going on in here, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
he
he was
did.
trying to be over the top, like, now I'm strong. Now I'm going to be a leader.
I love how he said, I'm strong. Got this, yeah. Like in his own pep talk. Oh man, the inner Frank came out. But speaking of alternative events, Miss Kristen actually during dinner service recognized Ariel's abilities. Like
Yep.
now it's like, hey, I got burnt twice. You know, not listening to her. Maybe I should listen to her, and maybe this will work. And she did. And I thought it was good that she said, yeah, we don't have to like each other,
Yeah.
but the fact that
We're
she's
well
right
in the kitchen.
exactly. Do what you got to do. So it was a race to the finish, which made it very, very interesting to watch and
I
kind of
loved
look
it.
at. And unfortunately, it really came down to some raw octic char, which was sad because it was like, it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Could have gone either way. And so because of that, the blue team won. And so now the red team, of course, had to deliberate. And of course, the deliberate goes hairy because everybody's fighting for themselves. And of course, Jackie's going to be vocal. And at this point, Jackie's like, I did well, so don't vote for me.
And that's where it's hard because,
Right.
like, with Jackie, she really didn't mess up. Ashley did mess up, and Ashley owned up to it. The thing I didn't like about Ashley is that she voted for Kristen when Kristen was the one who helped her in the kitchen when she was
Right,
down.
right.
And she's like, I vote for Kristen. And Kristen's like, why? And Ashley goes,
Yeah.
no
I don't
reason,
know.
cricket.
I think she just felt bad and didn't want to vote for Jackie because of what happened with Jackie. I think that's the only reason why you wouldn't vote for her. But the thing is, you can't just go by one service. You have to
Right.
look at everything.
Yes.
So yeah, you have a great service, awesome, but you had 7 other bad ones. So that doesn't mean you're out of the weeds yet. And if everybody else was good
Right.
and is a better chef than you or cook than you,
Yeah.
then you got to be the one to go up.
And
why would you-
attitude,
oh, yeah.
right?
And why would you nominate somebody that Ramsay's not going to vote on? He's not going to eliminate Kristen.
Right.
So why would you nominate her to go up with her?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
yes,
Because then you shoot
exactly.
yourself. And two, also, I mean, I it's one thing to own up, say, hey, I messed up, but I would never vote for myself because at that point, it's like you're basically saying I deserve to
Yeah.
go home. And I mean, yeah, that's commendable.
Yeah, I guess so.
But at the end of the
It's
day,
tough,
if
yeah.
you get voted in, then yeah, own up to it. Yeah, I did mess up. However, I still deserve to be here. I've still done this good. This is one time, or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But the fact that she voted for herself and then voted for Kristen, it's like,
It was
yeah,
weird.
but she also was breaking down, so it's
Yeah. She
maybe
was
part of
having
the
a really
breakdown.
rough moment.
She was having a rough moment, and I think it's going to be better for her. So, so we get to the who's nominated, and it is Ashley and Jackie, which no surprise there. And Frank actually predicted right because normally
This was
I
an
know my
amazing
stuff.
conversation, like
was.
right before, just so you guys know, I want you to know this. Right, this is like, we're all watching this together, and right before this is all happening, these two are having this discussion, and Frank was saying Jackie was going to come home, and you're like, no, they're going to keep her around.
I didn't think she was going to go home. I mean, but
I
I
did.
was super.
I
I was
say that
surprised
every
when he
week,
said
though.
Ashley's name first, because normally I know how he words it.
Right,
Yeah.
Normally
right.
he was like the person, or he goes. He never says who's staying. He just says my choices
Yeah.
or my decision is, and he'll
Yeah.
say a name, and that's usually he can put them back
Yeah.
up
Back
or
in.
they can go. But when he said Ashley, I was just like,
What?
Yeah.
and then I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and then the whole thing and the argument, not argument, but just the fact that you voted.
That was funny.
My thing was, I didn't think she deserved, and I said this, I didn't think she
Yeah.
deserved to be there. I think she should have gone home weeks ago.
Right. We were
I
all in
just
agreement
thought that because of the breakdown, and I have seen in times past when someone kind of has a breakdown and has to kind of talk to them, a lot of times he'll just let them go just to like, hey, you can't handle it. And I thought that might have been a perfect example. And also because Jackie did kind of do okay, or did good, so to speak. And even Ashley was the one that said, yeah, it's my fault that, that one incident that happened. So I thought that he was going to, let her go and then leave Jackie for some more drama,
Yeah.
That was what I thought. But I will say I'm happy with it because, like I said, Jackie needed to go,
Yes.
and it would also gave Ashley another opportunity to prove herself and kind of get her mojo back and kind of get it cracking.
Well,
So-
when Ramsay says to Jackie, he's like, "I'm afraid you're losing your confidence," and Jackie says, "I have confidence, but." And it's like, all right,
yeah.
Bye, Felicia.
See,
And really too, and Ashley, I mean, she kind of, if I was her, I mean, she didn't end up staying, but I would have been like, when he says, why do you think you're better, chef than the other person? And he asked Ashley that. I would have been like, because she only been cooking 3 months.
yeah, nobody
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah, I'm
nobody
like,
said that.
she's
I mean,
only been
that would have
cooking
been
3
the
months.
ultimate throwing
That's
someone under
why
the bus.
I'm better than her. Like, I mean, that's
Like,
just so easy.
Does he know?
I mean, he
I
has
feel
to
like he
know.
has to by now.
He has to know. I mean, all that stuff is taped and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
He has to know what's going on. He's involved in the whole
But
process.
he also said you're not ready. Like, and
Yeah,
I think
and
that
she wasn't.
encompassed a lot of things.
Right.
Her experience, her attitude, her coping mechanisms,
Right.
how she deals with people.
Right.
I
And
think all
yes, going on that topic, the water bottle that she threw, and Chef Christine was like, that goes back to your etiquette in the kitchen, and that's why I love Chef Christine so much, and I love watching that because it's like you have got to keep yourself together and be poised. And it's funny because like watching this show, it's all about life lessons as well, which is
Right.
so interesting because.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's a kitchen, it's still a place of work. You still have to
Right.
keep yourself together.
Right.
And I love that it shows that. And she was just like not having it.
time and place for everything.
Well, and it's good. I'm glad you pointed that out because during the deliberation, that's what they were saying.
Yes.
I think it was Ariel that was saying at the most. It says, "Yo, you get, that's the problem, and you have to have, even though we're not cooking, you still have to have the right etiquette. And the fact you're throwing stuff and yelling, I mean, just doing all these things and not containing your emotions.
Where's your
then
integrity?
You don't have any, and then you don't have any tact.
Yes.
You lack it, and that's a problem, and that's another reason why they were justifying putting her up.
Yeah, integrity. That's a great word. To
Yeah.
But
use,
shout
yeah.
out to Jackie though. I feel like I feel like by this time
Pour
she's
some
probably
water out for
like
it.
she gave us the drama though. Don't
She
lie.
did.
She gave us the
I
drama.
laughed a
I don't
lot.
know what is left as far as drama goes without her, and I'm sure
Frank.
she'll use this time. Oh yeah, we have Frank. I'm sure she'll use this time to get better and more skilled. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think if she wants to continue with this, obviously using this, I mean, she got pretty far. I mean, to
She
be
did.
cooking only 3 months, if that is indeed the truth, then she got really far. And again, if she learns from these mistakes,
Right.
like you said, life lessons and all of that, she can definitely, obviously do, because this is a high pressure environment.
Right.
This is not normal,
Right.
Cooking or normal what you would be in a job situation. So, shout out to her. So, Jackie is gone, and now I think it's time for predictions to see what
Woo.
happens next. Let's do that.
And now, your AfterBuzz.
Predictions. Happy go Jackie,
Oh,
aka
man.
Frank Moran.
I feel like next week is going to come down between Frank and Manda. One of them's going to go, and I don't know. It's like I'd like to see Manda stick around a little bit more, just because I feel like at least she's a little bit more of a I don't want to say deserving, but just. But seeing her getting so flustered doing the challenge, where she's like, I'm a single mom and I'm raising 3 kids, but trying to get 3 of these meals, 3 of these dishes cooked was overwhelming her. So I'm like, I see moments like that, and I'm like, I don't think she can go the distance to win. But I don't. But Frank is he's just not the right win for that. So I think it's going to be down to the 2 of them, and I'm afraid Amanda's going to go home before Frank.
Okay.
Oh, I agree with you, Frank. I don't know what else to say. No, I think, I think in terms of drama, we saw a little preview with Jared and Ashley about a little something
That was hilarious.
that's going to go down in
going
the
down.
bedroom.
I think they overinflated that, but I still can't wait to see it.
I
'cause that
cannot wait
was
to
hilarious.
see it. Part of me thinks that it's not going to happen.
Right.
That's what I think. That'll be my prediction.
I think it already happened. No, I'm just
shoot.
kidding. No, it might have already happened. But I know he was consoling her and stuff. And all that. Okay, anyways, predictions. I digress. I think Frank is going to continue to single himself out. He's very self-absorbed right now. It's showing, and I think it's going to continue to wear on him. Don't know if that's going to send him home or not just yet, but I'm watching him very closely. The red team, I feel like the red team now has all the space and opportunity to shine.
Okay.
Like I'm waiting for
I think
this.
so,
Like we
too.
got rid of Jackie, and
Right.
now it's like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay. So I do think it's going to be a situation. I mean, depending on because it's going into Black Jackets,
Yes.
which would be the next after this episode. That's when everybody's out for themselves. So this will be the top 6. So I think to kind of piggyback on what Frank you were saying, I think Manda is going to be the one to go. I don't think anyone else, unless someone like makes a major mistake, like let's say Ashley messes up again, or starts breaking down again. I could see her maybe getting booted for that reason because he kind of gave her a pass this time. But I think ultimately Manda should be the one to go, and I think everyone else would be the top 6, and then it'll be interesting if it plays out that way, how Frank does on his own, because it seems like he's wanted to be like Mr. Solo Man, and I don't want to be the team, and you guys all suck, and I don't want to work with women. I mean, he said all these things, so it'll be interesting to see how he is by himself, because honestly, I don't think he'll be able to hang. I think actuality, I think when it's the top 6 and he's in it, he'll be the first to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Realistically,
I can see it getting down to Jared, Kristen, and Ariel as like the final 3, and I just don't know which of those 2 would go. Because I could see a case for, I feel like it'd be Ariel and then either Jared or Kristen as the final 2.
Well, and this is Houston is saying in our chat, blind taste test challenge, and either Amanda / Frank will go home. So is that next then, the blind taste test?
Sounds like it.
Okay, so
sounds like
that
Mountain.
sounds awesome.
And that's always a good one, because that ends up, it's just really good to see like what people end up guessing, and see how people, because a lot of people think they have great palates, and then they do this because it's all about taste. It's all about your palate.
Yeah.
And a lot of them end up failing miserably.
Wow.
So
I can't wait. Thanks for sharing that.
It's going to
Thanks
be
for
a good one.
sharing
It's
that.
gonna be good. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been our episode. We want to thank you so much for tuning in. Those of you that were on the live chat, thank you so much for communicating with us.
Yes.
We really appreciate it.
Keep going.
We're also glad because Hell's Kitchen will be moving. The airtime will be now on Friday, so it'll be a little bit closer. Yeah, to our actual podcast, so that's always going to be helpful. So make sure you keep the conversation going. Comment on our YouTube. You can continue with the hashtag ABTV Hell's Kitchen. All of that will work. We'll answer, we'll talk back to you, and get ideas for the next podcast. I've been your host, Lem Gonsalves. You can find me all day, every day at the Poet Saint. Where you at, Rhavin?
It's been great, AfterBuzzers. I'm your girl, Rhavin, with the V McSweany, and you can find me at B Stays Busy, Bizzy, on all social media platforms.
Yeah.
Yes, and she does stay busy. Yes, she does. And thank you guys so much for watching. We love your comments. Thank you for being a part of the chat, and we always want to hear what you think, and I'm excited for next week. You can find me at Maria Provenzano on Twitter, and all my information will be there.
You can follow me on Twitter at HappyGoJackie, and check me out with my improv team Max every Tuesday night at IO West. In the meantime, I'll just be keeping my booty cheeks.
Punch 'em, Frank.
Why does it always come to booty?
Yes.
Really, this is crazy.
You know what? That one's your fault.
Yeah. No. You guys took it to the next level.
Don't start now.
Introduction, next level.
And that, you know what? It's just like you just put it right there. It was it was too easy. It was just too easy.
Anyway, until next time, we'll see you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.